Hello, how are you? I'm Matthew, and this is Truth from the Booth. Thank you for making space for me and my guest on a birthday Sunday. Yeah, so a shout out to my twin brother Mike. Happy 53rd birthday. It's a bitter cold weekend here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Snowstorm in the forecast for tonight. It was minus 30 degrees Celsius with the wind chill yesterday. But I'm not here to talk about the weather. What I am here to talk about are two amazing Nova Scotians who have stepped up to the plate and are giving back to those experiencing this extreme weather without shelter. Today, I will share with you something really special happening right here in our province. It's called HUGS, Hearts United in Giving Society. And it started in January 2025 after seeing just how many people were struggling and slipping through the cracks. HUGS is all about simple kindness, handing out care bags, sharing a moment, and reminding people they're not forgotten. In 2025 alone, 198 bags were shared thanks to community donations. That kindness has even inspired Bobby's Way in Kentville, Nova Scotia, proving that when hearts unite, real change can happen. Lynn Orton and Rebecca Neely are my guests. Our amazing 35-minute uninterrupted conversation is on the backside of this on Folked Up Radio. Abandonment sleeps first, curled in doorways and policy gaps, while blame walks past with its hands in its pockets, eyes fixed on anywhere but here. The night carries an energy, not hope exactly, more the hum of survival, a fragile current running from breath to breath, from cardboard to concrete. Compassion arrives quietly. It never announces itself. It sounds like a cup of coffee set down without a lecture, a hand up offered, not a handout. Good deeds done in the margins where cameras don't look. Love still lives here, somehow, in shared cigarettes, in names remembered, in the way people watch each other sleep as if guarding a small, borrowed peace. But everything feels illegal after dark. Existing, resting, being seen. A bench becomes a crime. A tent becomes jail time waiting to happen. Even stillness can be arrested. Death lingers, patient and polite, counting winters, counting overdoses, counting the moments no one made it back by morning. And yet, each day is momentous because survival is not small, because choosing to wake up in a world that keeps walking past you is an act of defiance. This is not failure. This is endurance. This is what it looks like when fragility learns to stand, when love refuses to leave, and when compassion, even cracked and tired, keeps showing up anyway. So first off, I want to thank Lynn Orton and Rebecca Neely for joining me this morning. Just no secrets here. I know the audience is hearing this broadcast on a Sunday, which is actually my birthday, but it's being recorded on an overcast, chilly Friday morning here in Halifax, and my guests are joining me from the other side of the harbor, correct? Where exactly are you?
Dartmouth.
You're in Dartmouth. Okay. Well, first off, I want to thank you both for doing this, and I always like to check with my guest, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but it's fairly simple. Mental wellness as we are getting ready for a new year, 2026, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say that your mental wellness is?
It's Lynn, and I would say now mine is at about a 9. If you would have asked me like a month ago, I probably would have said about a 5. But yeah, no, a 9.
So why the drastic increase number? What happened there?
Just I had a lot of personal decisions to make about having to put my husband in long-term care. So I had a lot of guilt that I had to work through. And I've kind of done that, and so I feel better about it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, but I'm glad that you have bounced back. That's good.
Yeah.
Rebecca, what about you?
I guess it's at a 7 or an 8, I suppose.
Okay. You don't have to. I'm not looking. You don't have to expand on that any further.
Okay.
I'm just trying to gauge with people just to get a base as we move forward in the conversation, just in regards to the work that you're both doing. And we're going to talk about HUGS in a couple of moments, which is the reason why you two are on this show. But I want to start with the weather, and I know myself, I've never followed the weather forecast more closely than I have in the last 3 years than I have in my entire life. As of this recording this morning, it's going to be -7 today, overcast. Tomorrow we're looking at probably one of the most dangerous weekends for weather that we've had in quite some time. Wind chill, -25 tomorrow, -13 on Sunday with snow moving in Sunday night. How does that make you feel, knowing the project that you're doing, this journey that you're on, putting care packages for those that are outside? When you see a forecast like that, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel very nervous for everybody, for sure. I mean, at least our packages that we do. I mean, it's a version of a warmth for them, I suppose, in this kind of weather. Maybe it will help distract them a little bit, or from that. Maybe not too much, but yeah, it's definitely a concerning issue.
Absolutely, Lynn. How do you feel about this?
You know what? I could not imagine having to live outside in this weather. After it, I'm always wondering, are we going to hear that somebody passed away? From the frigid cold. I can't imagine. And I've got to tell you, there's times, when I say, oh my God, it's so cold outside, I think back and say, well, you know what? At least you got a warm house to go to. It's just, yeah, it's really.
It's horrific. It's a living nightmare. Like, the one thing I try and stress to people, the elements will beat you down. Like, people don't understand that the elements kill people. That's just. Yeah. Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole, but I just wanted your thoughts on the weather. So let's get into, and Lynn, you can stay right with me. I just want people to know that Lynn and Rebecca, this is old school. We're doing this through the phone. They're just kind of sharing the phone back and forth. So if I'm repeating a talking point to Lynn or Rebecca, that's just the way it is. But I want to get into why the two of you made the decision. I know this wasn't, how difficult or how easy of a decision was it for you to do this talk radio show? Because I know at first you were on the fence, and now here you are. So what changed your mind?
I knew you would be easy to talk to.
Yes.
And because we've met you and we know you a little bit, you're not like a stranger to us. Yeah. We're still pretty nervous about it today. But we thought it would be good just to get the word out there, and and hopefully, other people might pick up and do some things.
Well, what you two have started a year ago has picked up, and it's been happening in Kentville. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So let's go back. And Lynn, you can start this, or Rebecca can jump in anytime. But let's go back to January 2025. You and Rebecca start Hugs, Hearts United in Giving Society. So I want to know, what were you, you're both Nova Scotians, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Born and raised in Nova Scotia. I'm just wondering, what were you both witnessing in this province that led to the decision for you to start this Hearts United in Giving Society?
We knew there were like a lot of unhoused people out there, for different circumstances, for different reasons. And we just felt, I guess I can speak for myself, I just felt, if I was unhoused, I would want somebody to care about me, and not that we can do it in a big way, but we talked about it, and we just thought, you know what, if we can help with like care packages that put a smile on their face or whatever. But I'm going to be honest, like, I didn't even know that Green Road Encampment was there until Rebecca had done an interview with Pam. Rebecca was writing a paper and had done an interview with Pam. And I couldn't believe it that, there were that many people in tents, still. because I know that they were through COVID and there was lots of them. But I just, and you see it all the time. Like you see it, people, I feel so bad. People like asking for, money or, because that they're either unhoused or they don't have enough to live on.
In 2026, that has to be a concern, not just for you, not just for Rebecca, because I know it is here. The fear is people are just going to run out of money to pay for things.
For sure. I mean, when we finished when I did the report for our Hugs group, I said, we'll be around in 2026, unfortunately, because people are still unhoused,
Well, the society that you and Rebecca have created, I hope that it just expands. There has to be more of them, because that's just the path that we're going down, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I witnessed my first homeless individual in the streets of Boston before the age of 10.
Wow.
And I'm 53 today. So nothing's changed. So we need people like you and Rebecca to do what you're doing. Does Rebecca have anything to add? What's her side of the story of getting Hugs going?
There certainly are a lot of reasons, for this homelessness, and I think Lynn and I had talked about that at one point. That was back, 2024, I think, that we had started those conversations. So we just decided, let's try and do something to help out as best we can. And normally people would, every Christmas you do something, and that's when the height of the giving, I guess, usually happens. But we thought it would be nice throughout the year, so not just on holidays. So we decided we would give it a try once and see how it goes, and it went really well. And then I guess eventually we just decided to continue it, and now it's just been every 2 months. As opposed to just a holiday, so it's nice to be able to do it throughout the year. And then our packages, we include seasonal items, of course, depending on the time of year. But yeah, it's just to help and make people feel like that someone's there for them, give them a hug, so to speak. So that's kind of where we're at with it.
Let's Rebecca, stay right with me. Let's talk about the care packages that have been distributed. Just looking at, I think it was the Hugs Facebook page in 2025, there were 198 bags distributed. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let's talk about those care packages. Let's talk about what is going into those. Where are the donations coming from? I know Socks for Shelters made a huge donations, hundreds of socks donated. So let's just start there. What's going into the packages and where are the donations coming from? Who's stepping up to the plate?
It's basically just through family and friends and even strangers. They just want to help. So they'll bring donations to Lynn. Usually it's her that gets them. Sometimes I get a few and then I bring them, because we have kind of, her place is the central place where we do everything. So we kind of, she's the main headquarters. But yeah, it's just people through word of mouth. People are wanting to help, which is great. And what's included would be, snacks. We're trying to get some of the high protein type snacks in there, personal items, care items, hygiene related, and even there was one time we even did decks of cards, because we knew where they were going was kind of an indoor shelter, that they may frequent. So knowing that they'd be able to sit down and play games of cards was kind of something we thought of. And so yeah, we did stuff like that, and little notebooks and pens. But mostly snacks and personal care items, I guess is most things. And seasonal hats and mittens and things right now.
Yes, I've been a part of
and the gift cards as well. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just saying that I've been blessed to have been a part of this. I started handing out those packages in July last year. Maybe Lynn can address this. I'm just curious, with all those donations, 198 care packages in 2025. I didn't hand out all of those. So where else are those care packages going? Are they going to different organizations, or who else are you helping out? Where else are those care packages going? Who are you sussing
The other
out?
ones went in Dartmouth, and they've gone to, what we did was how we were able to get places to donate them to is we went on and asked about unhoused, where unhoused are able to go, shower, drop in, things like that. So we did them for the Posse Project, the Adsum Drop-In Center on Albert Lake Road, the Windmill Road Shelter, the Green Road Encampment, and then we started our list again because that's all we had found. So the last ones in November went back to the Posse, and these ones this time are going to you and to Adsum Drop-In Center in February. But we're trying to get people to, we've asked if anybody knows of other places, please let us know, because we'd like to reach as many people as we can. We don't want people to feel left out. And the other thing we did say this time, because we've been able, like last time we were able to do 60 bags, and we're probably going to be able to do 60 bags again this time. What we want to do is we'll be able to do 60 bags with gift cards. We will probably be able to do an extra few bags, but they may not have a gift card in them just because we won't have the money to buy it. But if anybody knows anyone that would benefit from a bag, to please reach out to us. We don't even want to know the name of the person that's going to get the bag, because, that's their personal information. But if somebody knows somebody that could benefit, just put a smile on somebody's face, please reach out to us. And
Okay.
we will do a bag up.
Fantastic. No, the work that you two are doing and everyone behind the scenes is just fantastic. So the work that you're doing, originating in Dartmouth, but spreading out through the Halifax Regional Municipality, and it has reached to the other side of the province in Kentville. Two individuals over there started doing the exact same thing. One, honoring their brother who passed away last December in a tent in the Kentville area. They started something called Bobby's Way. So let's stay with you, Lynn. How does it make you feel knowing Hugs inspired Bobby's Way in Kentville?
You know what? It just like warms my heart. When I found out, I was emotional to think, that they were inspired by this, and now people in Kentville are getting them. I wish we could get all locations, all provinces, everywhere, like I said, the bags, they don't change the lives of people, but we wanted to let them know that, we care. And so I would love to see it province-wide. It's unfortunate that where they're going, it's unfortunate we have to do them for unhoused people, but yeah.
Does Rebecca want to add anything to that?
So the Kentville initiative going on, I'm really glad that we are inspiring other people to do that kind of work. The more people that, of course, that can be helped, the better. I do think that it is our responsibility as a society to help each other anyway. That old saying of "it takes a village" will always be true, and of course that's now more than ever.
I was just thinking community has to look after community. I don't think we cannot and we should not wait for any level of government to help us out in that situation. Living in Dartmouth, being a lifetime Nova Scotian, and this is just your own opinion, I have my opinion about it, what circumstances do you believe lead to folks being unhoused? Because I could list off 6 right now.
I could probably list quite a few as well. I know with our population boom, the construction industry is just not able to keep up. So it's causing a lot of issues that way, low vacancy rates, etc. So making it difficult. Rent increases, fixed term leases is another thing. This all kind of contributing to what's happening out there. Rent evictions, of course, and evictions. I know, I guess a large portion of the unhoused, I guess that they do cite evictions for their housing loss. Not I believe that that's something, a big reason as well. A little list here, sorry.
No, I'm just going to, I would add, people being released from hospitals, people being released from different facilities, people escaping domestic violence, people separating from their partner. Like there's a host of reasons. I think I like to educate my audience by letting them know that one of the main reasons that people are outside, it's not because they are drug addicts or mentally unwell. I tell people that those two things happen once you lose the security of four walls. Yeah, your life just is upended when you're outside.
Right. And you were mentioning about, the people not being able to afford things. I mean, the working unhoused, I guess, is definitely something, it's not just people not having jobs or whatever. People are still working as well. And so it's the cost of living and inflation, and, we can't keep up, with what's happening. And any one of us, we're just one circumstance away, from it happening to us.
So it sounds like, and I'm sure Lynn is probably in the same boat as we all should be, that the rising cost of living, the power, the food, the rent, should be of concern for most people.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Living in a single income household for me is definitely a concern. My circumstances can easily change at any time as well. So yeah, rent, groceries, utilities, they rise faster than the wages are, for sure. And I think at some point it stops being an individual financial struggle. So again, turns out to be like more of a public health crisis, I suppose. And we can build emergency shelters and we can fix this and that all we want, but if we can't raise our response to meet the rising costs, then we're essentially trying to outrun an avalanche. So that's kind of a thought.
Yeah, no, that's
to perhaps convey.
No, that's a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So let me, and you can, like Lynn's right there. She just heard everything that you said, but I'm curious from Lynn, what's the both of you, your biggest frustration watching this ongoing crisis? Like what frustrates you the most about this?
Mine would be perception. Just fighting perception. Like society is quick to treat people, the individuals in this situation as less than human. But what if it was your family member? And we're all, again, one circumstances away from it happening to us as well. So I think that definitely needs to be on the minds of everybody. Regardless of your class or your whatever, everybody should be thinking in that way and helping each other as much as they can. But I'll give you Lynn's take on that. I'll hand the phone over to her.
Okay.
She can talk to you.
Okay. So you get the gist of what we're talking about, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about the pushback against folks.
Well, yeah. We can talk about that. Because, Rebecca was just talking about people's perception.
Yeah.
But that kind of leads into, there was a story, there was a post the other day where someone was sharing content on a Facebook page and someone else thought it was spam, and now they can't post anything, and they were dealing with the unhoused. And I don't understand the pushback from those people against those that are trying to help people.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of hatred that comes out towards those that are just simply trying to help. Have you experienced any of that with Hugs?
Do you know what? I haven't, and we haven't, and we're very lucky in that sense. When we first started, that was my biggest fear. Like, are we going to get the support? We've been very lucky in that we haven't seen any hatred towards us. And when I did my first post on my personal page, because every second month I do for the gift cards, I do it on my personal page. I do 50-50. And when I put it on there, I said, I'm just asking people. I said, I'm not asking people. I'm telling people I want no negativity. If you don't agree with this, you just pass it by. please don't even comment on negativity. And I was really surprised a couple people said, why would there be negativity? And it's like, because people are. There's so much negativity. When I worked in community services, and so I seen when there was unhoused, and the stigma back then was everybody that was unhoused was either a drug addict or an alcoholic. And it hasn't changed, Matt. I don't think it's changed. There's so many people out there that think that that's who the unhoused are.
Yeah.
And and it really bothers me that people think that, because like as Rebecca said, one circumstance could change all of us. And I even said that back when I worked at community services, like, something could happen to any one of us that could happen, and the other thing is that I do say to people, the person that is an addict or the person that's an alcoholic, they didn't wake up this morning to say, oh, I think I'm going to become an addict, or I think I'm going to become an alcoholic. To me, those are sicknesses. And so those people should be treated just the way other people are treated. We're all humans. And, we all make mistakes.
I agree, and I wouldn't wish for anyone to ever experience being outside. It is a nightmare. You are in survival mode, and nothing else matters.
No.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I know I wouldn't be able to survive it. I know. Like, I've said before, like, any of the ones that I have met and chatted with, like, I admire them that they can survive it, because I know I wouldn't.
Then you must admire PJ McKay at the Green Road encampment.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I truly do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Stay with
and
me.
She's always got a smile. That's the thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
She's always got a smile on her face.
Yeah. And, staring down their third winter in a camper in one of the most exposed areas in Dartmouth, right there at the top of the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
In one of the last two remaining designated encampments. Just a couple more talking points here, ladies. I really appreciate you doing this. Round table discussion. Who needs to be there?
I'm not sure I know who everybody should, but I do know that the homeless has to be represented there themselves, because none of us truly, my feeling is, like, none of us truly know exactly what they need. We can guess, but we don't know. The other thing is, it has to be people that do have an understanding of, and are compassionate, and can do something about this. Like, there's lots of talk, but to me, I mean, even with all what they're talking about with all the housing that's going to be affordable, when you look around, like, when I look around just my own area here and all the apartments that are going up, there's not one of them that's going to be affordable. I couldn't even afford them, and I have a pension. Yeah,
the new places that are going up are well beyond anyone's.
So we need somebody. So you need somebody like at the round table that can, like, fight and really fight and get affordable housing done.
Well,
and if they can get these ones up as fast as they're getting them up, they can get the affordable up. That's my opinion.
Yeah, these there's absolutely nothing wrong with the tiny homes.
No.
Like the tiny home designs, not the pallet shelters. Those are like a closet with a door. That's no good.
Yeah.
The tiny homes, for a lot of people, that's really all they need.
Yeah. Yeah. So why can't we build those? I mean, if they can build the apartments,
That's the thing. That's the thing, Lynn.
Yeah.
We can. We're just not interested. Again, I've been seeing this for, most of my life. So no one's going to convince me. I mean, we live in a day and age of just making announcements and, showing plans, concepts of a plan. I just want to ask one more thing let's bring Rebecca back in here.
Okay.
And then we'll just finish this off. So we're just going to end this. I know the two of you want to get back to your Friday. I follow social media a lot when it comes to the unhoused. And one Facebook page in particular that I pay close attention to is Helping End Homelessness in Nova Scotia. I've always told my audience, whether it's the radio show or the live stream, if you really want to get a snapshot of what's happening in real time in this province, go to that Facebook page, because people are begging for help. So I'm just wondering, with hugs and putting the care packages together, maybe looking for new places to send out those packages, how closely do you monitor social media to gauge what is happening here in this province?
Well, I've been on that site, or in that group before, quite some time ago. And other groups, I've noticed that there's spatterings of conversation in other groups as well that aren't necessarily focused on the situation. But so you see it kind of everywhere, really. I mean, people that are living the experience. I mean, there's so many. Either they are homeless, or maybe they're going to be almost, or they're kind of teetering on that edge. But I mean, they all deserve to have a voice, for sure. So the more we can. Sorry, it's a little hard to explain it.
There's lots of work to be done.
Yeah, exactly. And like you mentioned before, the government's not going to be able to really do what the people could do. I think there's probably more that the people can do collectively than what's been happening. And
do it quicker, with no bureaucracy, no red tape. Just get her done. Just get her done. Okay.
Exactly.
Final point, and the two of you I'll present it to you, and then you can pass it over to Lynn. But I'm just wondering, what's the objective? What's the future goal? What's your expectations for this upcoming year for Hugs?
Our future goal. Well, we just want to continue the work, for sure. Mm-hmm. And if we can, the more people we can inspire to do it, the better, as mentioned before. But yeah, we definitely want to find, other places as well, because they must be out there. It's just a matter of getting people to, let us know what we can, where we can send these bags to, for sure. And it would be wonderful, ideally we even can do more and more bags. That'd be great. And sometimes we do have somebody that will come help us pack them, so which is definitely appreciated. But eventually maybe we'll have even more people helping us, and we'll see. I mean, it's pretty open. You never know, anything can happen.
Yeah, well, let's hope the Facebook page. Let's just hope that it grows, and I'll do my part. I will share your page on my Facebook page. It's just all about word of mouth. Obviously, is very important, but making the most out of social media.
Definitely.
Can't hurt.
I'm hoping as well. You mentioned word of mouth and kind of being out there. If I can mention this, that you can add. We're going to be setting up a donation table at the Spring Craft and Gift Market on March 21st. And it can be revisited at a later date. I know it's a little ways away right now. It's at the Somme Branch Legion on King Street. And it's hosted by an organization that's fairly new called Diamonds in Excellence Association. And they do weekly clothing drives and various things, if you did want to look into them as well.
Okay, wonderful.
I just wanted to mention that we'll have a donation bin and, examples of what the bags look like and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and for donations, like I've mentioned to my audience numerous times on both of my platforms, if you're going through your closet and you come across, like, maybe you forgot about a brand new pair of gloves or a hat, or just put it in your car. And when you're driving, I guarantee you, if you're in a city, chances of you seeing someone on a median or at a stop sign with a cup out looking for something. If you have something to keep them warm, like something to eat, I just remind people to do that as well. Okay, final thing. Let's bring Lynn back in here. I just want to get some final thoughts from Lynn on this whole radio experience.
Okay, sure. I'll hand you over.
Lynn, first, I just want to say I appreciate you and Rebecca taking the time out of your day to do this, and the both of you just did fantastic. It was wonderful.
You. Yes.
Do you have any final thoughts that you want to pass along to my audience?
I don't think. I'm glad Rebecca mentioned about the table. That's something new for us. So hopefully we'll get some donations there and some more people. I'd like to see more people join the Hugs Facebook group. But I think we've covered most of it. I do want to wish you a happy birthday on Sunday.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, and I do want to say that I so appreciate meeting both you and Jen. You're just like, I love the way that you pass the bags out in Halifax, pass our bags out to the individuals in Halifax. It just, just makes me feel good to know that, that they're getting out there, and it would be nice if we could get some passed out in Dartmouth that way, the same way, individually, like that. So that's one of my goals, to try and get that done. Not my goals, our goals, to try and get that done as well. Instead of, it's important, that we get them to the shelters and things like that. But it would be nice to know, we know there's people that probably don't go to those, that are just out on the street. So, yeah.
Well, it's, I never leave the house without, like, in my backpack right now, I have, like, the socks that you gave me. All the socks, they're ready to go. I got the hat. So I always, like 9 times out of 10 when I leave the house to go to work, going into the city, I have something on me that I can give out to individuals on the street, because I can walk down Spring Garden Road every day and hand stuff out. So
yes, yeah.
Lynn Orton, Rebecca Neely, thank you so much for doing this. It's greatly appreciated. It just helps educate the audience and get the word out there that this crisis is not just here in the Halifax Regional Municipality, not just in Nova Scotia, but it's a countrywide issue. And I want to thank the two of you for making a difference in the lives of the Nova Scotians here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to clarify, what Rebecca was saying at the end is the Spring Craft and Gift Market happening on March 21st, where Hugs will have a donations table set up, is being put on by Diamonds Bringing Excellence Association. Again, that's being put on by the Diamonds Bringing Excellence Association. Thanks again, ladies, for the Sunday conversation. So look at the calendar right now, mid-January. I think that's where winter stops warning and starts taking things. Cold lingers, storms stack up, nothing dries. Tents sag under snow, then soak through in freezing rain. There's no reset button, only the next night and the next night and the next. February is the heart of it. Across Canada, deep freezes lock in. Along the Atlantic coast, the danger isn't just cold, it's wet cold. Rain turns to snow, wind drives it sideways, sleeping bags get heavy, hands go numb. And once you're wet, the clock starts ticking. Early to mid-February is the danger zone. One major storm is enough to collapse shelters, flood 2 of the remaining camps, and push people past exhaustion. Late February doesn't let up, it compounds the damage. This is the stretch where survival becomes uncertain, where exposure isn't theatrical, and where winter decides who makes it through. Until next weekend, my name is Matthew, host of Truth from the Booth. Let's get you back to your Sunday soundtrack on Canada's #1 folk station, 99.9 FM, Perth Andover, and folkedupradio.com.